Good evening. It is Monday. It is a marvelous Monday because we are here live learning how to be more productive. I'm Cindy Baker. I'm an ADHD productivity coach. But you don't have to have ADHD to learn something from my tips and hacks. And so we are going to talk about productivity tonight. So if you are watching me live, if you could just say hi in the chat, if you're on in the Facebook group or any other platform that you're tuning in from, whether it be I don't know, uh, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, all those good things. Just please let me know that you are here. Say something in the chat, and that way I'll know which videos are more interesting to you guys, which you learn more from. And so if you're watching the replay, same thing. Just say hashtag replay. And I don't know what is happening with my hair right here. I'm really sorry. It was very windy outside. And I guess I should have maybe brushed it before I went live, maybe. I don't know. But hopefully you will learn something from these tips. I'm not going to share a lot. I have a paid Facebook group called Focus and Flow, and I give more tips to those folks. So if you are interested in that, getting double or triple the amount of training, it is only $27 a month, and I'd love to have you join. So reach out if that's something you're interested in. But we're going to talk. Really, I'm just going to give you 5 tips, 5 easy tips for just becoming more productive. Because maybe something is keeping you from being your very best. Let me do a little tech check here and make sure I'm streaming. I'm going to look on my Facebook here. Okay. I do see myself, and hopefully you can see and hear me. So please say hi if you're watching in the chat. But if you just feel like you're not, something is keeping you from being your best, you're losing time during the day. Do you feel like you could be a little more efficient at reaching your goals? Um, whether it's your work goals or your personal, your dreams, your goals, you're in the right place, because that is a common feeling that people have. You're about to get a lot more done. Because I'm going to give you 5 easy ways to increase your productivity. And you have probably heard a lot of these before. So just think of these as reminders, because we're probably not doing them. So the first one is don't multitask. Um, and I know you're trying to save time, you're trying to get more done. Um, it sounds like it'd be more efficient to just do a bunch of different things at once. Squeeze a little more productivity out of your day, right? And besides, we get bored easily, right? But you're actually making yourself less efficient by multitasking. I know it's kind of counterintuitive, but neuroscientists have been, brain science is kind of the thing lately. Um, and they've done lots and lots of studies about this, and they've made their case clear. Multitasking simply doesn't work. Our brains have a limited amount of focus available. And, I don't like the term ADHD because it's not an attention deficit. We can pay attention. If we're interested in something, we can even hyper focus on it. But we can only focus on one thing at a time. It's like RAM on your computer or bandwidth on your internet service provider. Um, there's just so much that you can think about at once. So while it may seem like you're really adequately focusing on the task at hand, you're actually hindering your ability to properly think and focus on what you're doing. So instead of exhausting your brain by forcing it to work overtime on a bunch of different things, try focusing on one specific task. Innovative thinking and critical thinking skills perform best when they have one single goal to work through. And we call that monotasking. And by monotasking, you'll find that you'll make less mistakes and you will get more done. It is, like I said, counterintuitive. So if you are watching live, say hi on the chat. I'm not seeing very much activity. I guess we're going to have a lot of replay people. So let me know that as well. And we're talking about productivity. So don't multitask. The second is to take breaks. And you've heard this, but are you doing it? Because just like we delude ourselves into thinking that multitasking is going to make us more efficient, we also trick ourselves into thinking that working longer hours without breaks is going to help us get more accomplished. Wrong again. Taking a break, and again, lots of studies have been done on this, taking a break actually increases productivity. And research has shown that those who work at a task for long periods of like unbroken time are actually experiencing a gradual decline in cognitive performance. Isn't that amazing? But short breaks when you're working lead to a consistent level of performance and productivity, and they keep your brain focused. So that 5-minute snack break or a 15-minute walk, it may seem like just a luxury you don't have time for, but with the focus and efficiency that you'll gain, that break is actually going to give you more time than it costs you to take the break. It gives you that time back. So a happy brain is a productive brain. But take breaks. Taking breaks actually makes you more creative and gives you a chance to strategize, and you get ideas that you wouldn't get when you're working. So don't multitask, take breaks. Number 3 is keep a clean space. I know, I just lost some of you. Now listen, if you're struggling with clutter, consider my coaching program, because I do a lot of training with clutter and go through room by room in your house, your office, all of that, paper clutter, digital clutter. But a mind cluttered with random thoughts, it's obviously going to have a hard time focusing and getting work done. So, in our head, we have distractions, and we need to clear those distractions from our brain. I do that sometimes by just doing what I call a brain dump, where I just write down like everything I can think of that I need to remember or things to do. And then I go back and organize it, prioritize it. But it helps me to get it out of my head onto paper. And then our physical workspaces, clutter on our desks or in our offices can have a big impact on our productivity and our mental states. It's just like trying to focus on too many things at once, and how that depletes our brain's processing power. A messy workspace ties up some of your brain's ability to operate at full capacity. It's like your brain is focusing, without you realizing it, on the clutter and feeling overwhelmed and feeling stress. And so, generally speaking, your desk or space should be clear of anything that isn't aesthetically pleasing to you or that isn't necessary for your current project. It all should be cleared off. And it can help, a good idea is to spend a few minutes at the end of the day, at end of every workday, cleaning and preparing your workspace for the next workday. That way, when you come in, it's nice to have that good feeling of everything being set for the next day. So clear that clutter. I've done a whole trainings on this, so there's a lot more I could say, but make that a priority. Number 4 is to manage your goals. Goals, expectations, and deadlines, they serve as necessary structure for increasing and maintaining productivity. Every task that you undertake should have a deadline, especially if the project is open-ended. You have to create your own structure. You have to create your own deadlines. Self-imposed deadlines, they give you this greater sense of time awareness and urgency, even if it's a deadline that you created. And the level of stress that comes from an approaching deadline, it's been shown to be beneficial to productivity and effective time management. We work better when there are deadlines. Deadlines won't help if your goals are too broad, though. You can't say something like complete task or finished project. That's not really those are not great goals. What I teach my coaching clients is to break big things, big projects, into a series of smaller, more manageable steps. And you're going to find that your sense of accomplishment and productivity will increase. So you set a deadline for each of those small parts of the big thing, and celebrate them when you reach them. Number 5, and lastly, is to follow the 2-minute rule. Again, something that I teach my coaching clients. Sometimes the easiest way to get yourself into a productive mindset is to sort of trick your brain. That's the general idea behind the 2-minute rule. 2 minutes, it seems like hardly any time at all, right? It's a very tiny chunk of time that's easily filled or easily wasted. So the first portion of the 2-minute rule involves finding anything in your day that you could do in 120 seconds or less. You could accomplish it in 2 minutes. And, then immediately completing those small tasks, because little things easily pile up and they overwhelm us, and they serve as temptations to multitask for later. Immediately getting those things off the to-do list is going to free up your mental bandwidth for the rest of the day. So if something can take you 2 minutes or less, just do it. Don't write it down. Don't put it, put it aside. Just do it. The second part of that rule, it really addresses our tendency to procrastinate or to get overwhelmed, because larger goals or projects can demoralize us with the size, the size of the commitment that's required to complete them. But if all of the undertakings can be started in just 2 minutes, and breaking something down into initial 2-minute tasks is the best way to ease yourself into working on a project, following through with your goals. Like, it feels so big, but what would you need to do that would just take you 2 minutes, but it would push you forward towards that, like get you started? So the secret is in turning a big goal into a 2-minute exercise. So what does this look like? Let's take fitness, something like, work out. What is that? That's very vague. That becomes do 1 set of push-ups. That's something you could do in 2 minutes. Fold all my laundry becomes fold 2 shirts. So and this may sound tedious, but if you do this, you break things down into little tiny steps, you'll do them. And then what happens is the little tiny steps add up to the big thing. Write an entire dissertation for graduate school becomes write the first page of my dissertation, or even write the first paragraph. And so I hope you understand where I'm going with this, because it really is a psychology thing for your brain. This line of thinking may seem overly simplistic, but it's shown to help increase productivity. So, new tasks or projects can carry an unnecessary amount of challenge or weight, but you get an easier starting point, and it takes some of that pressure off of the goal, makes it more accessible. And then that in turn is going to make it more likely that you'll continue working and moving forward well after the 2 minutes is up. And what happens sometimes is you get momentum and motivation. So think of the 2 minute rule like it's like getting into a really cold swimming pool. It's a better time and less of a shock to your symptom. Sometimes if you just dip your toes in instead of just jumping straight in. Although I like to do it that way too. But 2 minutes. Just think of what could you do in 2 minutes that needs to be done in order to get going on that project. Um, and I just kind of I'll end with this. And let me see if anybody's jumped on. Still don't see very many comments. So if you guys are watching this on replay, let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you tried it for sure. So just kind of a bonus thing to end with. Be kind to yourself. Even the best business people in the world get distracted. They get frustrated. They feel overwhelmed, and they have unproductive days sometimes. Distraction is a basic part of human nature. And so it's really to be expected from all of us. It's not just an ADHD thing. So forgive your mistakes. Just because you had an unproductive day doesn't mean that tomorrow has to be that way. Don't go spiraling down thinking about all of the mistakes or lack of productivity, because that's part of a vicious cycle. And what that does is that actually decreases productivity in the future. Just you're human, right? Know that focusing and being productive is it's a lot like riding a bicycle. Um, Pretty soon it just becomes second nature, and you don't have to think about it. And it gets easier the more you practice it. Yes, you're going to fall every once in a while, but that happens to the best of us, right? So you just dust yourself off, get back up, and keep going. So happy focusing. Hope your productivity is gonna uh, be increased by trying at least one of these 5 things this week. And I'd be curious to know, since not many people were chatting while I'm live here tonight, if you could just comment on what you're going to try of the 5 things. Tell me what you're going to try, and how it goes for you. I do want to let you know about something that's happening on Saturday. This Saturday, April 20th, I'm running my workshop called Distraction to Action. It's a very popular workshop, and I'm doing kind of a crazy thing. um, I am offering it at an early bird price. It's normally a few $100s, and I'm offering it for just $47 for just a few days. So, oh hi, I do have someone watching. Yay. It just says Facebook user, but I'll circle back around and figure out who that is. So thank you for commenting. Um, it's called Distraction to Action because it's all about how to hack back distractions and turn them into purposeful action. We go into how to schedule according to your values, instead of what other people are telling you to do. We go into how to get and stay motivated, and how motivation is connected to emotions. Um, it's very interactive. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 noon this Saturday. Now, it may not go the whole 3 hours, but there are breaks. So it's not me talking like I did tonight. It's very interactive. You get a workbook, and there are activities that we do together on Zoom. So because of that, it is live only. It's not a replay, because it's not something where I'm talking where you could listen. It's something you have to participate in on the spot. So there's no replay, no refunds, but I highly encourage you to take advantage of it. Everybody who's gone through it in the past has really had good things to say. And it's going to be really good. It's going to give you some practical tools that can help you with specific distractions like email and all that kind of stuff, but also going to get into, towards the end, just a specific roadmap for success for you. And so, so if it gets too big, I will cut it off, because I want to be able to interact with everybody. So I highly recommend you do that. I will put the link under this video. And hi, Kathy. Kathy is one of our coaching members, and she's awesome. And so Distraction Action is this Saturday. It's from 9 to 12. And again, early bird pricing, and it won't last very long. And when the spots are gone, they're gone, but it's just $47. That includes a workbook that you can keep, all the activities, interaction, live Q&A. It's going to be great. So I hope to see you there, and I hope you guys have a great Monday night. Be productive. See you next time. Bye.